Hello, my name is Upstart, and I am finally back on the 4-month hiatus of the Upstart Slideshow reviews. Now, today, we're going to be reviewing Brawl Star characters. I know, the best, most epic of Supercell games, and we're going to be going from rare to super rare characters. But before that, we need to start with a starter character. Now, this is Shelly. She has a shotgun and all that stuff. And do I find her fun? Not really. I mean, yeah, sort of, actually. I gave her 70%. Um, and I think she's cool. Her character design is pretty epic and all. I mean, nothing to bat home about, but you know how it is. And with the player title, No Time to Explain, I think it's a pretty cool player title, and I think it's epic, you know? So, Shelly has been the starter character for God knows how long, so basically from the start. And yeah, I mean, her design is cool compared to among other characters, and I'm sure we'll get to a couple lame ones later. So we're going to be talking about the average random skill, your randoms. And I think most of the Shellys I go with are decent at the game. I mean, they're nothing too good, but they're usually fine. They get the job done and all that stuff. So to start with our first rare brawler, we'll be going with Nita. So Nita has a fun meter of 30%, kind of a short range character, and I mean there's some short range characters are good, some are bad, and just Nita doesn't really fit that playstyle I really like. The player title, The Untamed, it's a pretty cool title, I could say. Um, but it's the average randoms I play that have this character. They suck. No, they're just terrible. Don't do anything with the team. And if I did add a category of average opponent skill, they'd probably be one of like a god tier random like on an opposing team. But as far as I get on my team, yeah, they're getting that down arrow, that thumbs down. So now we get to Colt, which I think he's fun if you're able to play him decently. Sometimes I can play really good Colt, and then sometimes I play really bad. And it's a 50-50 if you're gonna have fun in a match. And with the title, The Pretty, I find that suits his character so much. And with the average random skill, most of the time they're gonna hit their shots, I think, most of the time. So I'm gonna put decent. And I forgot to mention about Nita, but the character design of Colt, I think he's cool. Your average cowboy, but you know how that is. And I used to main this guy for a little bit, and yeah, I mean he's a decent character. I think he's cool. Next is Bull, a really short range character, and I just don't find him amusing. So I'm giving him a 20% on that fun meter. He is not too awfully fun to play. I mean, he has short range, and then his super is just walk forward. And with the player title of Bulldozer, it's just kind of lame. I think they could have done so much more with a title of Bull. I mean, I could probably get ideas for it. It's just like, I don't know, Bulldozer just seems kind of lame. But most of the Bulls I get are okay, at least. Most of them know that it's not the smartest idea to walk straight at an enemy and use bushes to attack. So most of them are just okay. And his design is just, I don't know. His hair is not too awfully appealing. So Yeah, I'm not too awfully a big uh fan of his design. So next is Brock, and I think with with certain star power too. I think his fun meter is pretty high. I think it's kind of cool to be able to 2 to 3 shot most of the people in the game. But what isn't cool is his player title, which is just boom. I mean, they could have put like so many things, like I don't know, player title, the gamer or something like that. It's like this is a whole character kind of thing. Just boom seems just lame. Or they could put I don't know. He has a gadget that lets him jump with one of his rockets. They could have said the rocket jumper. That would have been a Team Fortress 2 reference, and that would have been so cool. So I gave that title a lame. But the average random skill of Brock's I run into, pretty good, I think. They they get the job done. And I like his character design. It's a pretty basic character design, but I think it works really well. Next is the man, the myth, El Primo. El Primo, I think he's pretty cool. Fun meter is a 90%. I think jumping random people with his fists and then especially if it's super, which is literally a jump. It's just so much fun, I think, if you get a good game with this guy. And with the title of El Luchador, it fits his character a lot, and I give it a yay, but I think there are aspects in which it could have got better, but, it's something that would have to take time to, like, think about what could an El Primo title be better. I mean, he is a luchador, so it's like, I don't know. But an average random skill, I think most of them are fine. I think they know a thing or two about how they play their character. You can pick this character up really easily, so I don't think many people find it difficult to play this guy. So next we get to Barley, the bartender man. Okay. Well, I give him a 75%. And you're gonna see that at least in this game, I am a thrower fan. He throws bottles and that goes over walls and all that stuff. And I like flamethrowers. And with the player title of You Got Served, I think that's pretty cool. But it seems to be that the average random skill of these guys are garbage or below average. These guys kind of just walk into the enemy's shots or put themselves in unfavorable positions. So I think they're not really that good at the game. But next is Poco. No, I don't find Poco that fun. I give him 40%. But I think with certain aspects you could put on him and all that, like star power, gadgets, I guess he could be a little bit more fun. It's just that I don't know. He's not really my type of support character I would prefer to play. Well, with the player title of El gosh, I can't pronounce that. That's Spanish. um, I was gonna try, but I'm not gonna even bother. It's 2 in the morning when I'm recording this, and I am exhausted from the day. But I'm going to continue this, and we're gonna do one take, no cuts. That's my or our whole ordeal right there. So you know how it is. Um, I just give it a lame kind of. I mean, it's what he is, but ah, it's just lame. I mean, I wouldn't grind Poco for that. So with the average random skill, they seem to be okay. They try their best, and that's the best you can do. So next we get to Rosa, and Rosa has a short attack, not fun to play at all. Her super does not do anything pretty much. I mean, of course, it gives her less incoming damage, but it's just that's it. Nothing too awfully cool. The only thing that's cool about her is her player title of touching grass, and it's kind of funny. It's funny. It's funny to even get gold 3 on a character. You're not touching grass, so I think getting this one really shows something. But it just seems to be every Rosa player that I run into, they're just garbage. They're bad. And I'm sure there's probably Rosa players in the world who are top tier players and know exactly every minute detail and matchup. It's just like, for the people I run into, oh my gosh, they are terrible. But next, we get to our first super rare character, which is Jessie. And her attack and then her super just equal out to a pretty mid, kind of boring character. And especially with the title of the Builder, it is. I think it's an agreed upon kind of just a lame player title. But yeah, I mean, it's like I wouldn't. I don't know why someone would grind for that title specifically. But I gave the average random skill of pretty good though, because I think they're pretty decent. Most of the Jessies I run into, they just throw down their turret, and Jessie's an easy to pick up character as well. Next is Dynamite. Dynamite. Another thrower. I give him a 75, 70%. Uh, Especially if you have Satchel Charge. It's pretty fun to be able to just stun somebody and get a free kill. What isn't fun is his stupid player title. It's just birdie. That's all his player title is, and that's lame. I don't think anyone would want to grind that title. But the average random skill, I'm gonna put two here. They're either gods at the game or abysmal at the game. There's no in between. There's either good dynamites or bad dynamites. Good dynamites get kills, have zero death, and the bad ones is quite the opposite. So that's how it is with the dynamites. Now, ticks, I find the character boring as a thrower, but what isn't boring is his player title, Where's My Head? And I can only think about where your head at. It's a song, and I'm sure someone will get it eventually. But that song, I just seen this player title, just reminds me of it. And I think it's a funny song, so I think it's a funny title. So I'm going to put it a yay. But what isn't a yay is your average tick player. And I think it goes on for both sides, too. They just suck at the game, I think, in general, for just picking this character. And it's basically a crutch character in the sense, at the same time, not being a good character in itself. So it's like, it's weird. It's a dynamic of a bad character, but easy to play, but like, just Tick. And if you're a Brawl Stars person, we all know that Tick is not a good person to run into. So, now, what's after Tick? Well, it's 8-bit. Now, I give him a 20%. He's basically just like a boring Colt. Goes really slow. Just damage boost, super. It's not as cool as it sounds like. But what is cool is his player title of SYS64738, which was an old computer jargon, I guess, from when I remember from this bit right here. And I think it's cool to have references in player titles. And I'm going to give him the average random score of decent to trash. I think there's 8-bits who can like play around his slowness, and there's others who just walk into other players' shots and just die. So that's not really that fun. But what is fun is Rico. I mean, not what I give him, but I think it's fun to have him on your team because most likely they're going to be okay. And I'm going to give him a 30% on this fun rate. I mean, he's just a worse Colt, in my opinion. But what isn't the worst Colt, worse than Colt, I mean, is his player style. I think the Lover fits his character so much, and I think it's a cool title. So I'll give it a yay. But the average random skill, like I said, it's fine. He's not the best, but he gets the job done. Now for Daryl, I'm giving him a 20%. I despise his character, but he's not my least favorite character. What is my least favorite part of him is his stupid title, Pirate. That's it. That's just his title. No cool reference or, I don't know, nothing else. So it's lame. And most average Daryls, I think this goes for my team and opposition, are just trash. They're not good. They just walk into my shots or the enemy shots, whatever one works for them. Then we get to Penny, which, yeah, it's kind of another middle to lame kind of character to play. They just throw down another turret that shoots fireballs. That's about it. And their player title of the Salty, though, on the other hand, that's pretty cool. I think having Assault in your player title really shows that you're a toxic player. All that good stuff. But the average random skill is, I don't think most of them are up to snuff. But if we're talking about opposition, I think most pennies I go against are pretty good. It's like my pennies, on the other hand, yeah, no. But Carl's something else. He's another 40%, and he just throws a pickaxe, and then it's like a boomerang comes back to him. I don't find him too awfully interesting. But a player title of the geologist. I mean, that's he likes rocks, but it's still pretty lame. So I'm gonna give it a lame player title because it's just it's just not cool. I think putting it like the player title, like I don't know, like the nerd or something, that probably would have had people getting up and trying to get the. But eh, at the end of the day, it's Carl. I don't think anyone's really too awfully up and at him about this character. But but most of the average random skills I run into with these guys are they're decent. They know what they're doing, and yeah, that's how most of it goes. But then we get to Jackie, short range character, not that fun, but a funny player title of quote unquote curse words and abbreviations and all that good stuff. I think it's a yay. I think it's humorous, and that's like most you can get out of a player title. But with the average random skill of these guys, nope. They are a garbage. They are trash. I would not ever want to run into one of these Jackies when I'm playing. But to each their own. I don't know why anyone would play this character. Just saying. But we get to our next one, which is Gus, which will be our final character for today because he's the last super rare that has came out. So we're gonna be talking about him, and I'll give him a fun meter of 50%. He's a support character. Another type of support character I'm not really into. He just kind of provides shields as a super. It's just like, it's not that cool. With the player title of The Lost, I think it's one of the coolest player titles in the game. Just with the whole archetype of this character, and it reminds me of a certain Binding of Isaac character, also known as The Lost. I just think it's a cool title all in all. And I'll give the average random skill of good to garble. Still, it's like 3 in the morning now at this point, but uh, yeah, I think most of them can play the game, and others aren't really that good. But what can one do with a bad random? Well, one could like and maybe subscribe to the epic upstart slideshow reviewer. And yeah, I think next time I record one of these videos, it's not going to be 3 in the morning. I'm exhausted, and I don't even know why I did this today. But guess what? I'm going to say stay tuned for more, because I haven't uploaded in a while. That's just because college has been dragging me down. But guess who's out of it now? Summertime, and I have tons of time on my hands. So maybe leave something in the comments of what I should do next. Review characters from a series. I've done JoJo before. Maybe I could do more of that. Or I could continue the rarities of Brawlers and Brawl Stars. Or I could review other albums I like. I did a Lemon Demon Spirit Phone album review. So anything's up in the air for what I can review. And maybe next time I will review random snails. I don't know. But guess what? You have to recommend something in the comments if that's what you want, and I'll check it out. So, have a wonderful week and have a wonderful day, night, morning, whenever you are. Goodbye, everyone.